Hello everyone, I am Kevin from Tai Chi Mag for Shanghai. Welcome to Watch Kevin Talks MP. Does the magnetic platen need to be equipped with a protective chain? Welcome to Watch Kevin Talks MP. Today we are going to talk about the application of safety chain on magnetic platen. In recent years, on the magnetic platen of domestic injection molding machine, we have seen a phenomenon. More and more manufacturers are using chains on mold once magnetic platen be applied. European and magnetic platen manufacturers such as Technomagnet and Storbli, they didn't install this kind of safety chains. Japanese makers such as Pascal, Cosmac, they are equipped with safety chains. Chinese manufacturers are more conservative. All platen are equipped with safety chains. It seems safe to install a safety chain. The mold will not fall and damage the machine. But why are the standards different each brand? Some manufacturers even simply don't install it. Don't they care about safety? This question looks weird. But it is not easy to say. First of all, the magnetic platen always has the magnetic force to clamp the mold, so there will be no situation where the mold slides down from the magnetic platen for no reason. If it slides down, there must be a huge force opposite to the magnetic force, which leads to the overturning due to insufficient magnetic force. Then let's analyze them one by one. Could it be the mold opening force of the injection molding machine? The injection molding machine has a large mold opening force. It is in the opposite direction of the magnetic platen's force. What if the mold gets stuck? There is no way to separate the moving and fixed mold. The injection molding machine gradually increases the mold opening force. In the end, the mold will be pulled off from magnetic platen surface. Then the half of the mold that was pulled off will stay with the other half of the mold. At this moment, the proximity sensor on the magnetic platen detected that mold was pulled off. We'll pause the injection molding machine. Usually when designing a mold, the weight of the movable mold is bigger than the weight of the fixed mold. So when we design the magnetic platen, the magnetic force of the movable side is about 10% more than the fixed mold side. So when tug-of-war, most of the time the fixed mold side is pulled off or mold detached. After the fixed mold detachment happen, after the emergency stop, we can see that there is a small gap between mold and magnetic platen. But the positioning ring is still inserted in the positioning hole, so the mold will not fall. Then situation changed. In other words, if the movable mold is pulled off, then the whole mold will stay on the fixed magnetic plate. The positioning ring of the fixed mold is still inserted in the positioning hole. The mold will not fall, due to the magnetic force is at least 5 times the weight of the mold. So at this time the mold is even less likely to overturn. So if we only consider the mold opening force today, there is no need to consider the safety chain. Now let's talk about the real cause of the troublemaker problem. That is the ejection force of the mechanical ejector on the moving mold side. Imagine that after operator changes the mold, the ejection stroke of the mold is not set correctly. The mechanical ejector bar was pushed out 30 centimeters, but this mold can only push 20 centimeters. So when the mechanical bar push out 20 centimeters, the rest of the stroke continue to apply force. The ejection force will be fully applied to the mold. Eventually the mold will be knocked down. The mold will overturn. The same ejection force. What if the during mold is installed, a rotation occurred? The mechanical ejector of the injection molding machine did not work smoothly. Insert into the mold ejector hole during ejection. Then it will hit the back platen of the mold. The same result is that the mold will be knocked down by the mechanical ejector. During the above two kinds of accidental operations, the protective chain can play a role in protecting against accidents. So we think that this chain should be called accidental ejection protection chain, instead of the so-called mold anti-drop chain. Please be relaxed about this mechanical protection we have equipped you with. But it involves the number of configurations of this chain, and the problem of location. I will not elaborate on it here, because there are still risks. Imagining if the chain is broken by the mold opening force of the injection molding machine, the broken chain will whip the equipment like a whip. It's quite scary to say, so please contact us. Let us analyze it in detail. Okay, let's continue with Kevin's Talks MP next time. 1. Anti-drop function. But the configuration standards of different manufacturers are different. 2. Mold opening force seems dangerous, but it is actually safe. 3. The ejector force is a real threat. 4. Manufacturers are required to assist customers in analyzing and using. 5. Improper use will also cause other secondary dangers.
Welcome to Contact Us.